the last time I saw you, we shared or temporarily shared a booth up at Sundance in the Utah Film Commission office. You were launching
Oh,
Hit Record.
oh wow, that was a good long while ago. Well, it's great to see you again.
It was, and I am just in love with Mr. Corman. It
Oh,
is
thank you.
just such a tribute to all those great TV shows about school teachers. Welcome Back, Kotter, Our Miss Brooks, Room 222, and yet it's got its own flavor. It is just so wonderfully funny.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
You serve as executive producer. You're the star of the show. You direct. Which hat do you like best?
I love acting. I've been acting ever since I was a kid, but I also love every part of the process. I'm a film nerd. I would grow up on set and just be fascinated with what are they doing with the camera, and what about how do they build these sets, and what about the props or the costumes, or how does editing work, etc. And so when I get to direct, then I get all these tools to play with, which is just a lot of fun for me.
Tell me a little bit about your character, Josh Corman, because he's just so multifaceted.
Yeah, well, so Josh Corman, he's a guy that has a lot to be grateful for, and he does his best to be happy, but he'd be lying if he told you he was happy 100% of the time. And I'm similar. I have so much to be grateful for in my life. My family and the work I get to do, and I'm healthy and I'm safe. But I would also be lying if I told you I was happy 100% of the time. And that's not to complain. I just think that's just human. And oftentimes on screen, we see sinners or saints.
Yeah.
We see heroes or villains. But I don't think real life is actually that simple. I think everyone's, somewhere in between. And that kind of reality is what we're looking for with Mr. Corman.
Do you have those thoughts too? Like if I wasn't doing this, what road would I be on?
Yeah, 100%. I think about that all the time because the truth is, I think I've gotten lucky. Sure, I've worked hard, but I've also had a lot of lucky breaks. So I think all the time about, oh, what would be if I hadn't gotten lucky in this way? That what if I hadn't met the love of my life?
Mm.
What if I were still looking for her? Wow, that would be different. What if I didn't have two wonderful, supportive parents? What if I had one good parent and one parent who was, you know, struggling? What would that be like? And so these are the questions I started asking myself, sort of as an exercise in gratitude, as I the sort of building blocks of this show.
Yeah, I think, but it's those questions that make the show universal because everyone, as you said, asks those questions.
I think so. Yeah, everyone I've ever talked to does. if you if you get down to the honest truth of it.
In our final seconds, I know you're releasing the first two episodes this Friday coming up, but and every episode after that weekly. I think people, if you're watching this interview, don't wait. Watch the first two episodes. It is such a defining show.
Well, thank you. I really, really appreciate it, Tony. I'm glad you liked it. Thanks.
And in our last second, thank you so much for hit record because that gives a lot of people
Hey.
a way of speaking out, both visually and articulating with camera. So God bless you, Joseph.
Oh, thanks, Tony. And thanks for shouting out Hit Record. That's great. The community will appreciate it.
Have a
Great
great
talking to
lunch.
you.
Bye bye.
You too.